Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Pythagoras' theorem in this video and hopefully try and explain some of it. So who is Pythagoras? He's just a man who came up with a theorem, Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, that theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's what he came up with. That theorem, which is a formula to you and I in maths class, is his. Okay, he came up with it. What does it mean? Okay, well, when we talk about him, or Pythagoras, we're talking about right angle triangles. That's what we're talking about, right angle triangles. So a right angle triangle looks like this, doesn't it? And there'll be a 90-degree angle right there. Okay, so that's the right angle triangle. Now there's parts of that right angle triangle that you have to be aware of. Okay, but right now I'm just going to give you a basic idea. And I think if I said to you that this side was 3 and this side was 4, how long would that side be? That'd be a typical kind of question you'd get for Pythagoras' theorem. I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is 5. Okay? Any triangle that has a 3 here, a 4 here, that side, which is the longest side, called the hypotenuse, is always 5. 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5. Don't forget that. It's useful. Okay, so what does Pythagoras' theorem tell me? Okay, if I take the side here 3 and I square it, what does it mean to square the number 3? It means draw a square off the side of it. Okay, so it's 3 long there. So how long is it here? Well, it's 3 as well. And if I break it into units of 1, there's 3 units in this one, and there's going to be 3 units here. Now if I grid them, so I'll grid the box that I've created. How many boxes are in that square? 9. There are 9 boxes inside in this square. That's what it means to square something. So let me draw it for you maths wise. 3 squared. 3 squared equals 9. That's what it is. Now, if I take the bottom side of the triangle and I square it, okay, this side is 4. How long is this side? It's 4 as well. Okay, so how many boxes are going to fit into this? Can you answer that before I get there? How many boxes are going to fit into that square? 16. Because 4 squared equals 16. Or 4 multiplied by 4 equals 16. Okay, now how many squares on this one? So we'll draw the shape. Okay, so it's 5, isn't it? I've told you the answer here. That won't always be given to you. So 5, so along here, it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how many boxes are in there? That's simple enough. 25 boxes are in there. 9 boxes here, 16 boxes there, 25 boxes there. Do we see any relationship? Okay, so Pythagoras noticed that a squared, if I call this one a squared is, how many squares are in this box A? 9. Let me rewrite this again. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So how many boxes in the A? There are 9. Plus how many boxes in the B? I'm calling this B. There are 16. And how many boxes are in the C? There are 25. Now let's just see, is it correct? 9 plus 16 equals 25. A squared, which is 9, plus b squared, which is 16, is equal to c squared, which is 25. And that's a true statement. 9 plus 16 equals 25. And that's what he noticed. The square of these two sides added together equals that third side. The square of these two sides added together equals the square of the longest side. The side that's got the hypotenuse. The side that we always call C. And that is Pythagoras' theorem. Okay? So maybe I'll do an example of one and how I might work it out without the squares. Okay? So give me a minute. Okay. So I'm going to take a triangle and I will change it to 6 and 8. Okay. Now, Pythagoras' theorem again is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm going to help you out. This one is a, this one is b, and the last one is c. Always c, the longest side is c. Okay, so I'm going to replace a with 6. 6 squared. Plus, replace b with the 8. 8 squared. Equals, and replace c. Well, I don't know what the answer to it is, so I'll leave it alone as c squared. Now I'm going to answer this. 6 squared, well, that means 6 multiplied by 6. In other words, there are 36 boxes here. 36 plus 8 squared. Well, there would be 8 times 8. How many boxes in that space? 64. And that all equals c squared. Still don't know the answer, but I'll get in there. 36 plus 64, add the two numbers together, and you get 100. So 100 equals c squared. Now here's a trick that you might have to learn. I want c on its own. I do not want c squared. What that's telling me is that there's 100 boxes in here. C squared is telling me there's 100 boxes in this shape. Okay? But I want to know how long the side is. So how long, you might have already guessed it. How long is the side? Okay, if you can't think of it, the method is c is equal to 100. Sorry, c squared is equal to 100. So c is equal to the square root of 100. C is equal to, now the square root is a calculator job. Type it into your calculator, get the answer. And the answer here is 10. The square root of 100 is 10. So we knew that there was 100 boxes in the C part. In order to get the length of the side, you got the square root, which is like the reverse of the square. You're going backwards. So you got the square root of the 100 to get you back to the side, which gave you 10. Okay? Okay. I hope that makes sense. And any questions, you can send them on to me. Thanks.